Well, folks, here again for the weekly forecast, and we had an active pattern across portions of the state during the midweek period. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, seen thunderstorm development. A couple waves moving in from the western panhandle across the state on Tuesday brought a pretty significant severe weather outbreak with some localized heavy precipitation in the I-80 corridor between Grand Island and Lincoln. And then on Wednesday night, we've seen the heavy thunderstorm activity from north central Kansas through northern Missouri. Some of that breached up into south central Nebraska, a very small portion of south central Nebraska. And then we've seen the general thunderstorm development on Thursday. So overall, we missed out on many of the precipitation chances across northern Nebraska, and that is an area that has been persistently dry and has seen the worst of the conditions. So if we go to the current drought monitor, what we will notice is that a lot of Nebraska has been filled in with abnormally dry conditions, and we would expect some easing of the drought across south central and portions of the I-80 corridor. But more importantly, I expect we're going to see some of the moderate drought conditions start to be pulled southward unless we see some unusually heavy precipitation with the system coming through Sunday night and Monday. And right now the forecasts keep most of the heavy moisture to the south of this region. So as we look at the current upper air pattern, we have a troughing pattern over the Great Lakes, slight ridging over the Rocky Mountains, and a little bit of a wave that is going to start to move our way as we go through the weekend. So at the surface, we have high pressure firmly in control of our region. A very nice day today. It's going to be a little bit humid, but most of the precipitation will be well to our east. Now as we get into tomorrow, that wave starts to make a little bit of inroads toward the central Rockies, and that's going to start to form a surface low in the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle region, start to bring up moisture late in the day to our region. So we'll see most of the moisture to the south, but some of it starting to show up in returns across north central Nebraska. But more importantly, this wave starts to open up and move across our region as we go into Monday. Surface low moves a little bit farther toward the east, and that opens the Gulf up and brings some pretty significant moisture into at least the eastern half of the state. And we see convective outbreak once again expected for northeast Kansas and portions of eastern Nebraska. By the time we get to Tuesday, the wave starts to move toward the east of us, and most of the precipitation associated with those waves should end in southeast Nebraska before we get to the noon hour on the 4th, leaving a fairly nice day during the second half. So here's that precipitation starting to slide to our east. Then on Wednesday, high pressure starts to build in, and this is going to bring some very strong heat to our region, looking at least surface lows developing to the south of us, but with the atmosphere capped, it really isn't going to do any good. The moisture, it's just going to bring the moisture up and increase humidity levels, creating a high index day for cattle stress across the western half of the state. On Thursday, this high pressure system builds eastward with all the moisture to our south and surface lows pumping up additional low level moisture. We're looking at a very sticky day, highs in the mid 90s or higher, and cattle stress indexes in the 110 to 120 range across most of the eastern 2/3 of the state. Kind of backs this high pressure system up a little bit on Friday, so we might get a slight cool down, but high pressure will be firmly in control, and it won't be till the weekend until we get into more of a northwest flow and have additional chances for moisture in our region. As we look out into the future, 8 to 14 day forecast next Thursday, the following Tuesday, well above normal temperatures, indeed indicating more cattle stress potential as we get into the 13th and 14th. And in terms of precipitation, with high pressure firmly in control, we're probably looking at drier than normal pattern.